I've had to restart this video a few times. The dog is barking. She's having one of them days, you know. So we're going to do Moonlife today from Dali's Car, the first Dali's Car album. And any covers I've seen of it so far, there's a lot going on that I'll put it this way, right? He's not making it easy for us, Mr. Karn. So it's sped up. It's sped up. It's not in concert pitch. It's played here. Starts there, but on the record, it's there. It's a semitone and a half. It's not two semitones up to make it easy for you. It's a semitone and a half sped up in mastering. And what that means is to get to play it in concert pitch on your bass, you're going to have to slow down the track by a semitone and a half. Now you're thinking, how will I do that, Mick? I've done it for you. And I have a link. That I'm going to include in the description of this video and the subsequent videos, because we will not get through this in one video. I've detuned the track and put it on YouTube for you to round about the right. I mean, I say a semitone and a half, it might be 1.6 or 1.7, 1.4. Semitone and a half get you there, okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is there are not one, not two, but 3 bass tracks on this. And that confuses an awful lot of what you hear until you figure out how to separate them out a little bit. Now, sometimes they're playing unison. Sometimes they're playing counterpoint to each other. And sometimes there's no told on while the other thing goes on. It's absolutely crazy what is going on in this track. And if I haven't said that Mick Karn was a genius before on this track, I'm saying it before we did this track. I'm saying it now. The man was so underrated. As brilliant as we all think he was, he was better than that. Just amazing player. So, the way the tracks work is this: there's 2 which are the same as each other. So in a sense, they count as one, and they're panned hard left and right in your cans. Now, if it's a thing that you're using your phone speaker to hear anything, or your laptop speaker, forget about it. You're not going to hear the nuances in these things. Any of these tracks, get yourself, even these things, they're cheap enough on there's versions of them that are cheap enough on Amazon. Just buy yourself something that you get some isolation, some proper bass end as well, okay? So there's 2 bass lines that are doing exactly the same as each other. They tend to do all the high things. And then there's a low one. And some of the notes that, when I've seen people do covers of this, some of the notes that people are attributing to the bass line are just on the low one. And some of the notes that are on the high one are so buried under the low one that you can't actually hear them until you get rid of the low one, right? And then you'll hear them. So, look, let's get into it, and I'll show you what I mean, okay? Let me give it a go. So, this bass line really has been very difficult to figure out. What I would say to you is this: a lot of what you're hearing is one or other of both bass lines, and a lot of the covers I've seen, there's people, for instance, right, this first riff, that's what it is. It is that absolutely 100%. It ends on this high, right? But I have seen people go, right? Because that's what your ear hears. But when you put on your headphones and you listen to what's panned hard left and hard right, you can hear that he goes back up. And there's a lot of that in this song, an awful lot of it, where you hear the low note and it's covering the high one until you put in your headphones. So get the best headphones you can. Like, good headphones are cheap now. You can get some of the KZ stuff. It's brilliant for the money. So just make life easier on yourself and use headphones. Okay, so what that is this, all right? We're going to start on the 7th fret of the G, and you're going to slide from the 5th fret on the G, so right, to the 4th. And then your next note is the 5th on the D. It goes 4, 5, 7. They're like a hammer on. And ends on the 7th of the G. So slow, it's Now, some of them he smears down from anywhere up here, anywhere above the note you're trying to hit, and he slides down really quickly, so you get this. Right? What I would say is I'm going to have to play some of the original track to play along with. And that's problematic because sometimes I get a copyright strike and I take it back in out of the video. Other times you'd just be told, well, there's no money in this video. Well, there's no money in it anyway. It's not like I'm going to buy a car out of this unless it's a Dinky or something, or Hot Wheels. So just do me a favour. Would you mind subscribing? It doesn't cost you anything. Just click subscribe. That's all I ask from it. Okay. And I'm going to play that track so you can hear what I'm talking about. I'll play the isolated, right? You hear it go up there. And that's because there's a second bass part, and what that's doing is something like this, right? But it's not something like it is this. I'll play it slow. And then he goes. And this little part is really audible, and it would fool your ear into thinking that's part of the other bass line, but it's not. It's entirely separate to this. So what I'll do is I'll play that part, and then I'll play along and I'll show you, okay? Bear with me. So just before we go, what that part is, in case you want to play along, it's F over C, so 3rd fret on the D string to the 3rd fret on the A string, back to the F, to the, which is the 3rd fret, up to the 5th fret on the D, to the 4th, back to the 5th, to the 7th on the A, on the D, sorry, to the 5th on the A, and then a little slide from the 5th fret on the D to the 4th on the D. Right, so slow. That's what's going on under. And the problem is that when this note hits on that riff, you're playing this on the other riff, and the two of them lay over each other, and that's why people have been playing that part instead of that part. And what I'll do is I'll play it and we'll play along. Play along for those of you interested. I've just slowed down the tracks as well. So at about what 85%, and the reason is just so that it's easier to play along, so you can see. You can always play at full speed at home yourself. So yeah, that's what's happening there. Isn't that cool? And over the other thing. Let's move on to the next bit. So the next bit goes like this. Sorry. All right. So that happens twice, and then the second time it goes. And again, this is something. This is the part that made me realize that the thing was tuned down, because you can quite hear. If you listen, there's a little glitch on that note, but it was that note on the original recording. It's not the only thing. There was another thing as well. And you go, what is that? What is that? What it is? It's that can only be an open string, which means it's tuned down. Or it's tuned up. So what he's doing there, again, I can play along, but I don't want to get copyright strike, so I'm just being really careful. So what's happening there is, so we're looking at timestamp 12 seconds. We're only 12 seconds in, and mad amount of video already. So we're going to start on the 3rd fret of the D string with your index finger, because this is an awful lot. What he did was just all one finger stuff. Mad. You're going to slide to the 5th fret and then play the open G, and then back to the 5th fret and slide back. So, right, and then he does it again, but he stays there and goes to the 3rd fret of the A string. So you get this. Okay, and the timing of these little things is important as well. Boom. Now the next time he does that twice, the next 2 times he goes like this. Same. Sorry, no. Next time he's going and coming down from the 4th fret to the 3rd fret. So it's instead of it's, so there's 2 the other way and 2 this way. So what he's doing there, you slide up from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret and play the open G. And this time, use your index finger, that open string, use the time to get back to the 4th fret on the D string and slide back to the 3rd fret. Right, so it's really weird, isn't it? And the rest of it is the same. Isn't that brilliant? So I'll do it slow. All you have to remember is that the only difference is he's sliding back off the 4th fret the second 2 times and the 5th fret the first 2 times. So from the top. Sorry. All right, so you get it now? I'll play along. I wasn't going to, but I will. It's frustrating. I can't really play all the bits. Really annoying. Okay, so what's happening there is he's sliding from the 3rd, and he's leaving that G ringing. And the second time, right? So it goes. So you're sliding back up, and that kind of falls away. All right. So that's. Okay, and then the next bit is the same, except it goes from the 4th down, but the other bit is the same. Okay, let's move on to the next bit, if you understand that. Do you want me to play that bit? Will I play that bit? I'll play that bit. Give me a minute. Let's move on to the next bit. So timestamp, that is 25 seconds. We got the main riff. Happens again at 34 seconds. We got the main riff. And now this is another interesting part, the next bit coming up. And it's where I imagine a lot of us would have gotten confused before. So let's play on. I recorded all this bit before and it's not here. I must have deleted it by mistake. Okay, so that part is, there's 2 parts going. I'm going to show you the high bit first and then the low bit that is the counterpoint to it in that bass that's in the middle channel, right? So that part you just heard goes 9 to 10 on the G, 2 twice, and from the 10th fret to the 11th fret on the 12th on the D string to the 13th fret on the A. All right, so that goes. Okay. Apologies if I've explained this already because I'm quite confused at this point. But the counterpoint is this. It goes B. So the 2nd fret on the A string to the 3rd fret on the E string, up to the C, 3rd fret on the A string to the 5th fret on the E. And you could play an open A, but it's not, because you can kind of hear that sometimes. Okay, so 2nd fret on the A to the 3rd fret on the E, back to the 2nd fret on the A, to the 3rd fret on the A, to the 5th fret on the E. And over that you have this. So play that right this time, right? Amazing. Okay, the rest of it, we're going to do that in part 2 because, frankly, my brain is fried trying to explain this, and it's the first time I've edited as I go along, just because I'm so time poor today. But I did want to get this up for you guys, and I hope it's been informative so far. So, yeah, let's leave it there, and I hope to get the rest done. It'll probably be a couple of days because I'm going to have the kids all the time, so might get it done tonight. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, look, thanks for sticking around. Give us a subscribe. Won't kill you. Press subscribe. And let's hope I don't get copyright struck on this. Okay, thanks. Take care.